around you. And I bet you that's where, again, so I guess you should ask, where's the psychological thriller love come from? Like, why do you love it so much?
I was introduced to a lot of mental health whenever I was a 911 dispatcher. I did that for 12 years, and I saw a lot of crazy, seriously, in every way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And the way people react to things, and knowing that people don't know how they're going to react to things, and just all that kind of stuff. I like absorbed it, and I use it when I write. And it has to be intense because if you've read anything I've written, it's intense, I
Well, that
mean,
means like you've been through some that requires like on a nightly basis. So I guess you had to be like a psychologist to some of these people too. I would imagine because um, they're having
mm-hmm.
like I remember when I was 4, my mom had asthma and she stopped breathing and we had to go get the neighbors and I remember that night that panic. I was 4, right?
Right.
But I should probably be panicking at 4 years old. But the thing
Mm-hmm.
is, I mean, adversity comes to people at different points in their lives, and that needing help, that desperation. There's a desperation with that for some people,
Mm-hmm.
and you're the receiving end of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I could imagine you probably had to talk some people down the ledge. I'm imagine
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it made you laugh some of the things that they're calling about. All right, because
Yes.
it's just like because
Mm-hmm.
it can be as simple as apparently once upon a time. I mean I like maybe the cell phone was used as another kind of toy and it got stuck somewhere, something like
I've
that.
had, the my kid handcuffed himself and we can't find the key. Like, they found a pair of handcuffs. We had to send an officer out to take the handcuffs off the kid. I had that one time. I had a guy call one time and said, "Can you solve me and my friend have a bet." And I swear to God, I wish I could remember what he asked me, but I cannot remember. And he was laughing, his friend was laughing. He asked me whatever it was, and I started laughing. I could not help it. It was funny, and I don't remember what it was. But it was, I need you to solve a problem for me. We have a bet, and I'm sorry to bother you, but, um, because I didn't just answer 911, it was also the non emergency line.
Oh yeah.
We didn't get, calls from every which way. But yeah, all kinds of stuff. Some of it was funny, sending the fire department out for a woman that was stuck at the park. She was stuck in one of those little baby swings at the park.
Okay. Yeah.
And her son had called and he was laughing his ass off, and like, my mom is stuck, and because he was like, older kid in this swing out here and we can't get her out. So I had to send the fire department to get her out. Stuff like that. It was silly. It wasn't all traumatic, and most of the time, most of the calls that come through on 911 aren't emergencies.
No.
They're just little mundane. Some of it's not.
There are problems that in the moment might seem big but probably aren't.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean, and every once in a while, I mean, which I'm sure you'd
Mm-hmm.
rather have that than the actual real emergencies, but that's what you're there
Mm-hmm.
for. And so you got to see the whole gambit of human emotion literally played
Mm-hmm.
out with just the pressure. And sometimes you were the pressure relief, sometimes you were the
Mm-hmm.
comedy relief, but sometimes you were the superhero too. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a
Right.
daunting job sometimes, but it also
Mm-hmm.
forces you to get poised and calm because you're the one that can't panic. Because
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
if you're panicking, they're like, oh shit, she's done.
I've always had that, and it's kind of funny because some people don't get it. And I'm not a dispatcher anymore. I stopped doing it a couple years ago, but I still have that. I've always had that I don't panic,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's just like, really, I can't remember ever like full blown panic, and something will happen with the kids, someone will fall or whatever, and I'm not like completely freaking out. My husband and I've argued about it. He's like, why don't you get, more upset? What if this happened? What if that happened? And I'm like, but it didn't. It didn't
Well,
happen. So why are we getting upset about something that didn't happen? What, I don't
and,
get it.
and and sometimes it's more importantly, like this is the other thing too. Let's say it did happen. What can you do about it?
Me freaking out is not going to help.
No, it's not. It doesn't do anything.
Not at all.
Right, right.
But my process though is in the minority, and he's more normal with that than me
Well,
because
I'm like you. I'm like you. I'm in the
it's.
same boat. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I For me, I didn't initially. I panicked, but I've had enough
Mhm.
life experiences that have happened to
Right.
me. I don't panic anymore.
No, and
It just doesn't do
it
anything.
doesn't do anything. And my reactions aren't the same. And it's like me freaking out about something that didn't happen is not going to help the situation.
Well, that's the thing.
You
Like
know?
when you
Hmm.
have that reaction, you're considering every possibility. But
Right.
right,
Hmm.
which it could be good or bad, and
Hmm.
there's a whole gamut of things. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure the urgency goes up if it's your kids to some
Of
degree,
course, you know.
right? Absolute, but
But it's like just throwing an example out. Not that this
mhm,
doesn't happen. Like, you catch your kid playing with a pair of scissors and they fall down, and of course, my reaction would be, "What are you doing? Go put the scissors off. You're not supposed to be playing with the scissors. Are you okay?" That would be the end of it. But other people completely freaking out. Oh my God! What if he fell on the scissors? He could be dead, and this and that. I'm
yeah,
like
no, no,
completely freak
but
out. But
but
I'm sitting there like,
I mean when like I've been watching this. Like COVID's been a great example of watching people's reactions,
mm-hmm,
like worrying about every which way, and I'm like,
mm-hmm,
I have no control over any of this.
right,
So why am I reacting? Why would I react? I'm going to wake up. I'm going to go outside. If I have to go outside, I'm going to do what I have to do,
mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go home because there's nothing else I can really do. I'm not going to
Yeah.
worry
I
about.
mean,
Yeah,
it's
right.
gonna
There's
run its
nothing.
course. It's gonna run its course. It's gonna do what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, getting mad at the rain for falling
Right. Mm-hmm.
doesn't do you any good. It just makes you crazy. Like
Right.
that's
Mm-hmm.
honestly what it does. And like I said, my own life experiences have taught me, like, okay, that doesn't mean I don't care. That doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
I don't have certain worries and
Right.
concerns. But I also recognize the fact that, you know what, having those worries and concerns isn't
Mm-hmm.
going to change, right?
Right.
The grand scheme is what problems can I control? What
Yep.
can I actually do about the situation right now? And
Mm-hmm.
if the answer is nothing, you live with it because that's all you can do.
Mm-hmm. I once had a dispatcher. I had just trained. We just had her finish training, and she was listening to like old calls, and she's like, "You sound so monotone. You're so flat on your calls." And I'm like, "I'm supposed to be. I'm a 911 dispatcher. That's how you keep your callers calm. Is you have to be calm. You're flat and monotone and just cool.
Yeah.
Like you're a rookie. You've been doing this for 6 weeks.